everyone, so today we are going to do like a spider kind of look thing. This is something I don't know who the original creator is. If you do know who it is, just go ahead and leave it down below so I know to tag them on my social media, but I really don't know who it is as I have seen millions of people do this look. So, and I'm sure you guys have too, so we're going to try that out today. So of course I already have my face products on and my brows, and we're just going to go ahead and skip onto that. I went ahead and started out with this because my skin's been looking really rough lately and I just don't have time to mess around with it. So this is really cool right here. When I saw this come out, I had to get it immediately because I was so intrigued with this. It was so cool. So this is the Revolution Pro London palette. I think it was like a collab or something though, but I guess not. So it just says Pro London palette. It doesn't like have a name. In face palette. Yeah, I don't know. So anyways, what this is, it looks like this and then it opens up into multiple sides. So here's the two sides. Obviously we have the blushes over here, the bronzers over here. I thought this was a highlighter, but it's like not. It's kind of like a lightning placement, which is cool. So then we have the eyeshadows right over here, and then over here we have lipsticks. So I used one of these lipsticks the other day. I used this shade right here and it was okay, so not bad. It was like a nice little simple lipstick, which was nice. And I only used this shade right here, which is that orangey shade, and it worked pretty good. So I've been using the bronzers a little bit, and I tried to mix like these two blushes together because they're very bright and like really not my kind of tones. I don't know for darker skin people if these are their kind of tones. I feel like maybe this one, but this is just like, I don't know if anyone's gonna use that. It looks way lighter on camera actually, but it's even named red. It's pure red. So I don't know if these are really like a good mixture of blush colors, but I feel like the bronzers are pretty nice. So we're just gonna go into those. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this brush right here. This is the Morphe M527 brush right here. And of course I will link down below my face products I had used. Look at this piece of hair, what the fuck? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take this right here, and this is actually a contour shade, but I'm going to use this, like it's just called a contour, but I'm going to use it as like kind of like a bronzer, and we're just going to bronze up the cheeks, forehead, all the places we normally do. This works really good for me. I think it looks really, really nice. So we're just going to go ahead and do that. We're going to put it on pretty heavily. Alright, so now I'm going to take this brush right here. This is a crown brush, doesn't have the name on it, but it looks like this. And then I'm going to go into the shade. I'm going to go into the shade right here that says bronze, but we're going to use it, like as like a little bit of a deeper contour right here, not too heavy. Just kind of like packing it into the cheekbone area and kind of blending it out. Alright, so before we move on to the blushes, just because I kind of want to stay with this palette right here, I am going to bake my under eyes. I did go ahead and set them so they wouldn't mess up while we're doing this. But the reason why I'm doing this, I want to put a heavy amount of powder under my eyes and sharpen up the jawline, because if I have any fallout go from the darker shades, it's going to be really annoying, hard to get off. So I kind of want the powder to kind of be there as like a shield, so I can easily dust it away. So I'm just taking the sponge right here. I forget, I think it's a Real Technique sponge, don't remember, but it has a sharp edge on it. It's not wet or anything, just picking up a lot of that powder and pressing it under the eyes. We will look a little crazy, but that's okay. Alright, that's a little bit more than I was thinking. So now I'm going to take it, whatever is left over, and just sharpen up that jawline area. Alright, so this brush right here already has black on it that I used the other day from doing a makeup look. So this is the Doll 10 by Makeup Molly collection. This is the Shadow Shader brush right here. Super really good brush. We're going to go into the color. These are pretty basic names. We're just going to go into the black, which is called Black. So we're going to take that shade right there. And what we're going to do is we're going to tap that off, and we're just going to start putting it into the eye. And on the lid, I'm not blending it up. We do not want to do that right now, but basically just getting it in the crease specifically and placing on the lid. I want it to be pretty dark, so I'm going to keep on patting it pretty heavily down, and hopefully it'll be dark enough for me. So a trick I find with my hooded creasy ass lids is to raise my brow and pack it into the crease so everything is dark and there is no lines. I don't do that all the time, but I should, because later when I have my makeup on, I'll like raise my eye and they kind of look and I'm like, oh my god, my creasy ass eyelids. So if I do that, I can kind of pack it into those creases so nothing is showing up later. So just a little trick, whether you have creasy lids or not. I don't know if it's like an issue for everyone, but it is an issue for me, that's for sure. So this block is looking pretty good. I'm not mad at it, so that's good, looking pretty good. I have used a lot of blacks and they all kind of suck, and this is a very affordable palette, so I am happy. Alright, so now we're going to go into this Morphe M4 3-3 brush right here. It's a blending brush, very thin though, and we're going to go into the color Neutral right here. And this is kind of like an orangey neutral color. So what I'm going to be taking is this color and very lightly start blending that crease and, you know, that black and this color together. Not too much, but just a little bit of a blend so they kind of blend together, if that makes any sense. So since a little bit of the black is getting onto the brush, it is starting to make the blend on this eye a little bit more messier than I was wanting. So I'm just taking this right here and wiping it off. This is from JCat, so I'm just taking that to wipe it off because I do want this orangey color to peek through more than the black right now. So just trying to do that so it's nice and clean. Alright, so this blend of this eye looks a lot better than this side for some reason. So it is higher up on this side, so I am going to take this one a little bit more higher up. And then I'm just going to keep going back and forth and kind of, you know, just keep on blending, making it look better. I'm going to go back into this black just because this eye seems to have less black. Kind of blend that into the crease a little bit more as well. Alright, so now kind of blending those orange and black a little bit more together. So like going into the black and kind of pushing it up. Black is a very hard color to work with, so you have to go in steps. And this is what I find a little bit helpful. As I can tell, there really isn't that much fallout on the eyes that much, but I do see like a little bit of black, which is nice that we put this here, but it's really, like, it has a lot of kickback, but it's not too much fallout. Alright, so I did get the black a little bit on this side, more in the inner corner than I was wanting, but we are going to fix that up. I'm taking the brush, wiping off all the powder across the entire face because we are done with it. And look, no more fallout, which is really, really nice. Like, there's no stains. I do find that helpful sometimes. Sometimes it's really not. Like, if there's a lot of fallout, it doesn't work as much, but it does work pretty good. And I did just kind of get that into the bronzer area, so we will have to fix that up. So taking my sponge and patting it over the powdered spots so we can kind of push that in and it's not as white. This side I didn't get it, but this side I like covered it up. So I'm gonna go back into that bronze shade with this brush, and then we're gonna kind of switch back and forth just to sharpen it up. But I'm not gonna take it too like far down because I do want that line still there. Alright, so now taking a blush brush right here. This is the e.l.f. Cosmetics 103 brush. We're just going to go into these shades very lightly because I forgot how pigmented they are. Kind of put it right here. Hopefully it looks good because I can't remember if I liked it or not. Yeah, that looks okay. I mean, not my favorite, but looks okay. So just kind of 1-2 push, tap off, and go onto the cheeks. Alright, so now taking the Anastasia Beverly Hills ABHXAMREZY Highlighter right here, going into my favorite brush. This is the Morphe M510 brush. I'm taking it and we're just going to start popping it onto the cheeks for a nice glow. I'm actually going to put it in multiple places on my face as well. Alright, so now taking this Makeup Revolution Makeup Calming Makeup Fixing Spray with Cannabis Sativa and spraying this on the face, really nice, and it smells good and feels good. Alright, so I'm going to just let that sit and dry before we do anything else. Alright, so I just went ahead and went in with these e.l.f. Cosmetics Retractable No Budge black eyeliner and put it in my waterline and kind of smudged it. I kind of smudged it down a little tiny bit, and now we're going to go in with a little bit of black eyeshadow and smoke it out. Alright, so I don't know if this brush is thin enough for me, but this is the Morphe E18 brush, and we are going to go into that black just a little bit and start smudging very, very close to the lash line. Alright, so I forgot that there's really no way to get rid of that block right there, and I'm not trying to mess around with it and put like foundation concealer there. So I'm going to go back into that highlighter, and we're just going to start putting that on the inner corner a little bit just to kind of course, like brighten up the area. We don't want it too bright because we are, you know, creating a spider there. Look, that doesn't even look the same, if you guys can tell, because there's black there. So I'm going to go into a lot and just kind of pack it really good there. Yeah, that's not looking the same at all, but kind of helped it a little bit. Alright, so I'm going to go in with this Revolution Makeup Blowout Mascara right here and put this on my top and bottom lashes. Hopefully, actually, I'm going to skip the bottom lashes and only put it on the top just because I know we're drawing like spider legs down there, so I don't want it to affect it. But if I don't put the top mascara on now, I will forget and then I'll be pissed off. Because whenever I do bold eyeshadow looks, I always forget mascara a lot. Like, no joke. I have no idea why, so we're just putting this on now. Alright, so now we're moving on to the hard part, which is drawing the spider on the eye, making it look cool. I've never done this before, so I don't even know if it's going to turn out good. I hope it really does, because I really have always wanted to do this. As I said before, a lot of people have done this, so I feel like it's going to be really hard, but we're just going to figure it out and go with the flow. So this is a brand right here. It's called Mehron Makeup, and they have a lot of cool stuff for like creating really cool, like, you know, cool creative makeup. It's really good for Halloween if you want to create like cool wounds, paints, all that kind of stuff. They have like everything, and they're a really good brand. So I've wanted this palette for probably 2 years now since I found out about it, and this is a paint palette from Mehron. It was like 80 bucks. I finally bought it like, I don't know, like a month ago, and I'm really excited because it works really, really good. So the other day, I don't know if you guys saw, I did this like demon look, which was inspired by Desi Perkins, and when I put that paint on my body and face, like, it didn't even feel dry. It didn't feel like it was cracking. It didn't feel like anything, which was really, really nice. So I felt like I could have worn that like to a party and everything, and like would have been fine all day. So I'm just gonna stop rambling and show you guys. This thing is really huge. So here it is. Here is the paint palette right here. Super, super big and beautiful. Works really, really good. Alright, so we're basically just using this palette for the black and white shades, pretty much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take the black shade in there. Alright, so these are water activated. I'm going to take a cup of water and just dip this paintbrush that I got at Ross in there. Dip it in there, and then we're just going to go into the black. Alright, so we're taking that block, and I have my cool new Jeffree Star mirror, and we're just going to try to use this without blocking anything. So I'm going to start on the inner corner of my eye. I think the whole idea of this is to make it look like it's like real and on your eye. So I think it's good to not just create straight lines, to kind of create like curvature around the shape of your face. So since this is an area right here that kind of has like shape right there, I'm going to try to make sure it bends. Don't know how that's going to work, but we're just going to go with the flow. I'm not going to put it too much on the eyeball, but just at the like end of the eyeball. Alright, so I'm just doing that right now and just kind of tracing it. I might go back and make it thicker, but I'm going to kind of make them all the same size right now and then decide if I want to make them bigger. I'm going to go, I don't know guys, this is really hard. So I'm going to go here since we're already in this area, and I'm going to bring it from the inner corner across my nose and kind of down, keeping it pointy at the end. And then I'm going to move on to doing it other parts of my face. I'm going to turn on some music and just kind of not talk while doing this, because it's basically the same thing, just drawing a bunch of random stuff. So music does kind of help me get into my groove of doing things good, so we're just going to go ahead and do that. But basically just keep everything pretty sharp and not too straight, because you know, spiders are like creaky and not straight. So now we have the base drawn on. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take some white, and I'm just going to go ahead and speck on some tiny little details on it to make it a little bit more realistic. I'm not like an artist or anything, so I'm not really good with like the whole detail factor, but we're going to do it. I feel like the details need to go on the factors of where the curvature is at. So like right here, I feel like there needs to be like a little point showing like the detail of the curve. I don't know, but we're trying it, okay? Alright, so now I'm going back into the black, and what I'm doing is I'm just going in and kind of fixing up where it was too thick at, where the white is at. So just kind of, you know, touching it up. Okay, so for some reason my camera didn't turn back on, but I believe I got to show you guys like the details and everything that I was making on there. All I did was add some white on there and just a little bit of like white on there just to kind of add some details on there. So now what I'm doing is, and hopefully this didn't like, I'm gonna be so mad if this like video didn't record a lot of it. I'm taking a gray shadow, and I'm taking it from the Morphe by Jeffree Star palette. I'm taking the gray and just very lightly creating some shadows. This right here is the Morphe E37 brush right here. So what I'm doing is with the shadows, I'm taking it very, very lightly and just kind of spacing it out from where the leg is, and just making sure to kind of create a shadow as if you can see the shadow under where the legs are at. And I'm making sure to attach it at the end of the leg to create that realistic look. So the reason why I have a sharp brush but kind of thick where it can blend is to make sure it's kind of smoked out. Like you don't want just a straight line, that's not going to do anything. So I'm sad that I'm almost done. I am working on this part, and then I have this part to do. I am going to redo this part right here because I didn't attach it to that leg and it doesn't look good to me. But I'm really sorry if this didn't show everything, but basically it was very simple. This has been really easy so far. So just going in there and creating that shadow. I'm going to kind of talk you guys through it since I'm pretty sure my camera turned off for a while. So just creating it from the like lower lash line. I'm starting to trace that gray out, not getting too close until I get to the end of the leg, and that's when I'm going to add it to the sharp part of the leg. And now we're just kind of going through so we can add that gray blend to the leg, because that looks really nice, just kind of using it to blend it so it's not a sharp line. And now for this side, I think I'm going to start on this end and just kind of create that line and then add it up there. And now we're just kind of blending through to create that shadow effect. So I'm now going to take a little bit of that gray and kind of fix it up right here. I do want this to sharpen and kind of go into that top part right there. So I'm kind of smudging that shadow right there around, making sure it's not too sharp, blended at that part of the leg. And then I'm going to take some concealer and hopefully be able to fix that part up. So I haven't used this before, hopefully it looks good. If not, I'm going to be really pissed off. This is the NYX Liquid Suede Cream Lipstick in the color think it's in the color Alien. So we're just gonna put this on the lips and hope it looks good. So that's like my first ever black lipstick. I do have like a black lipstick that has a little bit of glitter in it, but this is my first ever, and I've been really wanting a black lipstick really bad, so I did go buy this the other day. I say the other day, but it was probably like 2 months ago or something like that. I haven't used it yet. I was getting it for Halloween and it was on sale. So yeah, this looks really good. It's not too matte, not too drying, so I'm happy. So that is everything. I really hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I feel like it looks pretty good and like good with the detail. Of course, you know, I gotta work up with like my good creative makeup and doing that like hard stuff, but I feel like I'm stepping up my game a little bit, so that looks pretty good. I'm happy with it. Alright, so I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to give my video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and let me know down below in the comments what other kind of videos you'd like to see me film, whether it's a review, a makeup tutorial, creative makeup, Halloween makeup, you know, just whatever. I'm down to do it. Honestly, even if it's not even like cosmetic like related, let me know, because I'm down.